Hello, I'm Barbara Levan, Director of NF Mid-Atlantic. We're a 35-year-old nonprofit dedicated to support, awareness, and education about neurofibromatosis. We want to make sure no one is alone with NF if they don't wish to be. As part of our continuing effort to educate you about resources and people you should know, I am so delighted to introduce Kirsty Ashton to you, whose second book, Living with Neurofibromatosis, is now out in paperback, and she is speaking to us today from Manchester, England, and we're so happy to have her here. Welcome, Kirsty, and thank you for taking your time to be with us today.
Hi.
Now, besides being an author, Kirsty is a tireless advocate for people with neurofibromatosis. And I feel like I need to brag about her, although she has enough accomplishments that nobody needs to. But in 2012, she did everyone in the neurofibromatosis world community proud by carrying the Olympic torch along its one leg in England. That that must have been absolutely amazing, Kirsty.
It was absolutely a fantastic experience, and just being there, like amongst other people that had just come out that day. They don't know me, but the support they were giving me and other torchbearers, and it was a good chance for my family to get together as well. And they all had the banners up and everything, so it
Oh,
was amazing.
it's so amazing. I'm not sure, and maybe you know, are you the first and only person with NF to carry the torch any part of the way?
I'm not 100% sure, but that would be a good question for me to look into. I know I was one of the people to represent BMW. There was only so many people selected, and
Mm.
Coca-Cola and TSB and BMW were all fighting for me because they said my story was standing out the most. Either way, I was going to carry the torch, but some of the companies who sponsored the Olympics said that they would back that person. In the end, BMW won the competition.
Excellent. That icing on the cake, yes.
Oh
How
yeah, I love BMW.
how were you selected? We're going to get to your book in a second, but I'm so intrigued.
So basically, a few people, I'd imagine from the community, wrote in to the Olympic torch team
Mhm.
saying we think Kirsty Ashton should carry the Olympic torch because, and that then went to a panel of judges, in which then they then did the process and selected however many people, and I was one of them.
Oh, that's fabulous, and you really did everybody proud. That's just wonderful. In those few moments, you probably educated more people about NF than all the organizations in the world did, and you should be very proud. We're proud of you.
Thank you.
Oh, not at all. Um, the cover of your book, and if you'd show it, the cover of your book actually shows that moment, and that's why I wanted to start out that way. That is great. You were also using you use Canadian crutches. Pardon me. Are Canadian crutches is that the term you use in England? Because it's a term we use here. Were you using you use
A,
Canadian crutches to
yeah,
help you get by?
a crutch, yes.
Hmm. Just one.
Yeah, I use like braces now and then to support my knees because they're out of place. And
Hmm.
then if my spine is bad or like the
Hmm.
back, I'll wear a back brace, either the plastic cast style or a fabricated one to then pull me back. So I haven't got it on at the moment, so I'm a bit shoved forward, but
Oh no, you look great, and you looked great in that picture. Again, a proud moment. Do your first book was depicted your life with neurofibromatosis and scoliosis, such a common malady uh, of
yeah.
NF. Is that right?
Yes. So basically, the first one was more or less my journey with scoliosis and neurofibromatosis, and how I got scoliosis and was then coping with it and living with it,
Hmm.
including my parents' journals and a few doctors' comments. Um, yeah. But due to the feedback about it, that's when I decided then to the second book, continue my journey with NF, but then including over 40 other people's stories from around the world.
Yes, and that's very exciting. Now, I was alerted to your book because our partner, David Oosterlo, in the Netherlands at What is NF, he's one of your featured stories.
He is, yes.
And he's very proud of that. Um, you also have, one of the things that I appreciated about your book is you have a glossary in there. And I imagine people really also appreciate that. You have a glossary. I should add one more thing. You have a glossary and you have questions and answers,
Yes.
which to me were so helpful. I thought I knew a lot, but I learned a lot from that.
Yes, and with that as well, as you've probably seen with a few of them, if I couldn't answer them and I didn't have the medical terminology, because I'm just someone living with NF, I don't want to mislead people, so I need to make sure my information's correct. So then I've spoken to our doctors and professors, in which then gave me the correct answer for it.
Well, you did a wonderful job. I don't want to say it's entertaining, but it is a compelling book. And it actually is entertaining because you hear about your journey, you hear about other people. It's very inspirational, and seeing you is very inspirational just in general. Now, you're in the media field, are you not? Would you tell us a little about that?
Well, I work at the BBC in Salford Quays, and currently I work in BBC Learning, which for people in the UK would know it as bite size, but for people overseas it's our educational side of things. So maybe if a programme has a learning outcome to it, we'll then support that and come up with maybe title names for programmes or guides. So maybe about photography in space. And my key job then is to look after the team. So I support a production executive with anything she needs, whether or not it's sorting out travel arrangements, booking hotels. It could be printing out treatments, pictures. And then at the weekend, I work in 5 Live, which is our news and sports channel. So that's quite popular. And I'm the phone operator, but in media terms, people call it a broadcast assistant.
That's great. So you must be very informed about most everything, as well as your friends probably call you about inside sports things. I don't know.
Get quite a lot of people because I get to see things that are coming out on the telly, say like 3 weeks in advance.
Wow.
And then people are like, when's this programme coming out? When's this programme coming out? Is there any cool things coming out? I'm like, I can't say anything, I'll lose my job.
Oh, the keeper of secrets. That's awful. Yeah. But that's okay. Well, we wanted to have you on because you are an inspiration, and also because it is for us now, it is the end of November. Hopefully this will be coming out very shortly. And your book is the absolute ideal holiday present for anyone. You should not only get it for yourself, get it for your loved ones, get it for your friends. At least in the US, it is not an expensive book at all. I'm not going to speak for anywhere else in the world, but in the US, it's under $16 to have this amazing depiction of Kirsty's life. And we will put a link so that people can get it. You can always get things at Amazon. And actually, I understand from David, you can get it at Amazon all over the world.
Yes.
And if your local bookseller doesn't have it, you should ask him or her to get it for you. This has been wonderful, brief but wonderful. So happy to have this time to talk with you and get to know you a little better. It's delightful. Kirsty, we hope we know you don't have Thanksgiving, very American holiday, but thank you for being part of NF Mid-Atlantic, and thank you for this book. Thank you for your first book. Thank you for being a wonderful representative for NF. And have a wonderful holiday season.
Thank you, you too. Thank you so much, everyone.
Oh, take care.
Bye-bye.